Hello YouTube, this is my second video I've made. There's been a pause since my first one. Bought a new computer, put it together. Okay, so today we're looking at the T127 and I'll just do a quick guide or review of it. So 40mm of whole armor sloped. How effective actually is this? Well, if we have a look at the T70, which is a very, very strong tier 3 tank with very good hull armor, it's 35mm slope back, slightly more. If you see, there's a bit more of a slope. So I'd say that the 40mm here, with a less slope, it kind of makes up. So I'd say that the armor of these two is very similar. Except, I think this one has a larger lower plate. Let's have a look. No, they look about the same. Okay. Well, generally, I play the T127 as a brawling medium. So, it's got great frontal armor, very good side armor, and the rear armor is actually quite good, 30mm. And if you angle that, you can bounce your Panzer 1Cs, which are very annoying, especially if you're playing the T70. This is the major difference between the T70 and the T127. The T127 you can angle like this, and you can bounce quite a lot. 30mm hull armor on the side, so they will generally ding off the side if you get a good angle on it. The difference with the T70 is 15mm of hull armor on the side. Everything goes through. Even if you angle like this, the Panzer 1Cs just shred straight through it. Engine fires, module damage. It's such a pain. So the T27 is a very big improvement. The differences, however, which make the T127 not so great, is the turret armor. Well, actually, I don't think you can say that. The flat here is 40mm, and this one has a gun mantler with sloped everywhere, basically. So, 35mm on T70, you do get a lot of bounces. Actually, I haven't seen many pens, and I have been penned here a few times. So the T127, compared to other tier 3 tanks, is generally more heavily armoured. Just be wary of the turret versus heavily armed tanks. Okay, so what do I use? I use vents, just to make everything a bit better. Spawn liners are really important. The T82s and T18s will derp you and can one-shot you, and this just makes their damage 20% less, which is really, really, really helpful. And binoculars, because I'm too cheap to buy 10% to aiming speed. And binos is really helpful on Malinovka and maps like that, which you can get into. And the view range, 320. 320 I think is quite standard. The Panzer 2G has 330. T15 has 350. So sub view range for its tier, but it's still quite good with binos. Yeah. You will have more than everyone else, unless they've obviously got optics or binos. My ammo, some gold, because 45mm from the MS1, the penetration isn't very good, and with the armor piercing it just makes up for that. And I use HE. I have no idea why I actually have this. I've never used it, and it doesn't do any damage really if you hit an armored target. I guess if it's a Valentine AT, you might be able to penetrate it and do a slightly more damage, but it's probably worth going for the AP all the time versus slightly armoured tanks, because high explosive doesn't always do full damage, and when it does on this tank it's not going to do that much. Okay, so I'm now going to show you a battle of the T127. Okay, here we are. We've started the battle, and yep, I'm platooned with a friend, Syndicate, I think. Yep, and this game is a 36% win rate chance. So I've said that Syndicate should help me over here, and we'll just snipe through these windows and try and get some spots and take out a few targets. I realised at the beginning of this game this could be quite a carry, as we had a lot of tomatoes on our team. So Panzer 2 isn't very high priority. He's not a very good player. So the T70, however, is about average, and T70s are quite good tanks in my opinion, better than average. Not overpowered, but very good. So there's the tomato, and yep, ketchup. Okay. There's a T18 over there, and I really wanted to get him, but with standard AP on this tank, you can penetrate a T18, but it's very hard. So I recommend just switching straight to armor piercing, composite rigid, and just go straight into that and fire it straight at them, because penetrating them is very difficult with armor piercing, unless of course you shoot the lower frontal plate, which is quite weak. So I'm changing position as there's no tanks really down that alley anymore. At this point I'm looking around the map and saying, oh dear, this is quite bad. There's no one in the 1-2-3 line really defending that side, and the other side's being swamped and destroyed. This is really bad. So I'm telling my friend just to stay there and defend that alleyway while I go and help the Valentine AT. And the Valentine AT actually does a really good job and takes the guy out. So now I don't think there's anyone down there, and I look at our base and I'm like, oh my goodness, we just need to get there as soon as possible, because the Cruiser 2 is obviously going to be gone in a couple of seconds. So I'm going into the base and I'm looking around, there's 3 of them, and the other guy on my team's he doesn't look like he's doing much. Nope, he's gone. And lucky shot, set him on fire. Okay, angling the armour, as you can see, it bounces, and that's an M2 lights, and you'll bounce them if you angle properly. So the armour on this tank is very good. T82s, be really careful about these. HE, they will ignore your armour, but luckily here, he hit my track, I think. And at this point, Syndicate is facing the wrong way, and I'm saying get around as fast as you can, and he's like, oh, I don't know how, and I'm like, left and right keys. But anyway, now it's me versus 5, and that T18 just shaved off all of my life basically, and it's me versus 4. Great. And this is a really bad situation. I'm just like, okay, I'm loading APCR. And I go out, see if I can take a shot, get one, this one. Such a lucky bounce. Okay, 3 of them. This is just, I'm not sure what that guy doing. Maybe he was tracked. Maybe I tracked him when I came around. This guy, he had a stock gun, so I was just taking my time. And then this guy here, yeah. Wow. So 8 kills. Doing pretty well. The armour on this tank, you can see it just held up against quite a lot. T82, M2 light, 3 T18s, and a cruiser. Yeah. I'll just have a look at the front, and it's not showing shots, whatever. So now me versus an artillery, and he's not a very good player, but still an artillery is an artillery, and they have a gun that can one-shot me. This is, I'm thinking this is actually a bad situation. All he has to do is get one shot, and I'm gone. This looked like a good opportunity, but nope. Bounce. and I got back because didn't want to be derped. And I would be happier here just to camp, because Invader's a good medal and it would add to everything else I have already. So no, but he comes round, so I realise he's come round, so side scrape round, showing just my sides, hoping to get a shot. Yep. And I do not want him to turn and get me, so I rush forwards, and there we go. Boom. So here we go, after battle results screen, Kolobanov's medal, Top Gun, and the other one. So I got 1,240 damage, 9 kills, and 1,249 XP. And it would have been 1,873 XP if I had premium. So thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I will be putting up another video soon of the T70, the other tier 3 light tank. Okay, see you guys, bye.